What is up? Welcome to episode 4 of the poker vlog. We're here at the Brook for a late night poker session. It is October 4th, I believe, just around 12 a.m. Wasn't planning on playing tonight, but here we are. Let's hop into a 1-2 table, shall we?
Thank you.
For this first hand of the night, we look down at King Jack of Spades. There's a few limpers before I open to 20 bucks over the limpers. I'm gonna go a little larger than normal because it is a Saturday night and there's lots of action. Under the gun one makes the call, so does the low jack. So we're gonna go 3 ways to the flop, out of position. Flop isn't bad. We do flop top pair with some backdoor draws. We got the backdoor second nut spade draw, so I bet about 1/3 pot, 20 bucks, hoping we can get some callers with our top pair. Fortunately, they both do end up folding, but it's not a bad way to start out the session, winning a small pot. In this next one, I've already opened 10 bucks. We have King Jack offsuit this time, slightly worse, but I'm still going to be playing these Broadway cards, I think. Open from under the gun. Quite a few people call the hijack 3-bets to $20 for the min 3-bet. It's a little loose, I feel like, but we are going to call since it's a great price, and I know everyone else is going to call as well. So we go about, I think it is 5 ways to the flop, and it's a good one. The flop is King, King, 9. We've got trips in a multi-way 3-bet pot. This is where dreams are made of. Under the gun one is going to lead out for $25 here. Hoping we can get some more people to call, and then we're going to, of course, check raise. Low jack is going to make the $25 call, as is the player in the hijack. Other guy folds, and it's back on to me. So I gotta decide how big I want to go here. I settle on 115. I think we probably could have gone a little larger, maybe like 135 or so, but I think 115 is also going to do the job here. Don't want really people calling with spade draws and stuff. So we're going to put more money in. And then the hijack jams for about 250, which is about 130 more. It's a little scary, but obviously I'm not going to be folding trips here. I snap call, so we're in an all-in pot on our second hand here of the night. As long as we can just hold or improve. Spades do come in, as does the ace, but we are good. So we win this nice sized pot. In this one, we look down at ace jack suited of spades. Under the gun's going to open to 10 bucks. I'm going to 3-bet to 50 from the cutoff. Hoping to put some more money in while we have a decent hand pre-flop. Button and small blind are going to fold. However, the big blind is carving out some chips to possibly call or cold 4-bet. But it looks like he's just going to make the call. He sticks in the 50. Under the gun folds, so now we are heads up with the big blind caller. And the flop is queen 9-8. We've got 1 over and a Gutshot straight draw. Not the best flop for us. He's going to check. I think we can still c-bet here. It's not a bad board. We can have a lot of ace, queen, and queens. I bet 30 bucks, and he snap rips it. He's all in for $79 just after checking his cards once. It's $79, so it's only about 49 more for me to win 269. So obviously I make the call, and we drill the gut shot on the turn. He just has ace king, so we sucked out on ace king to make the nut straight. In this one, unfortunately, the camera stopped working right as the hand started, so I did a hand replay for you guys at Learn WPT. Middle position is going to open to 20. Middle position is going to call. Cutoff calls. I call with ace-8 offsuit. A little loose, but we are on the button, so I think it's fine. We do flop an ace on ace-5-10 with 2 clubs. Middle position is going to lead for 30. The other guy's going to call. I obviously am not going to be folding an ace just for 30 bucks here, so I make the call. We go to the turn 3 ways. 6 of hearts puts another flush draw on the board. This time the middle position player bets out for 100, which is slightly larger than I would have liked, but I don't think we can quite fold top pair just yet, so I make the call. Other guy folds. We're heads up. 10 of diamonds comes on the river. Not a terrible card, but we still want to see what he does. He bets 200, which is quite large for this game. You know, it's 100 big blinds on the river, and all we have is just top pair with not a great kicker. However, the 10 on the river does save us from some better aces, not a ton, and also it does save us from worse 2 pairs like 5-6. And that is what he shows. He shows 5-6. We sucked out on the river to win. And another hand, we have ace-king offsuit on the hijack. I'm going to open to 10 bucks. Cutoff's going to min 3-bet to 20. Bun makes the call, as does this big blind. And now I have to come in for the re-raise here. I make it 100 bucks, which I think is a little small. I should have gone like 120, even though it's only 20 bucks. But this table so far I've noticed is quite action. Cutoff's gonna make the call to 100. He's the original 3-better. Kinda wasn't expecting him to fold. But then something unexpected does happen. The button, who just flatted originally, is going to make the call for 100 for $80 more, as is the small blind. So we are going 4 ways with 400 in the middle at a 1-2 game. Let's hope we can hit a pair here. Unfortunately, we do not hit a pair. We don't even have really any backdoor draws other than the backdoor wheel draw. So there isn't really a ton we can do. It's really unfortunate with 400 already in the middle. But then, the big blind donk jams for $308 to about 400. Nothing we can do, just have to fold. Kind of curious, wanting to see what's going to happen for the rest of the hand. Kind of surprised when the cutoff calls for 250, as does the button for less. So suddenly it's a 4-figure pot. In this one, we look down at my favorite hand, ace-9 offsuit. Since it's my favorite hand, I'm going to be putting more money in. I 3-bet to 50 over an $11 under the gun open. For once, everyone actually folds. So we go heads up. It's going to make the call. So we're going heads up for the first hand at this table. In a nice 3-bet pot in position. Unfortunately, the board is not too great. 4-5 jack. We don't have a pair. However, he does check. So I'm going to check this one back. And we do pick up second pair top kicker on the river. He's going to check. There's about $100 in his stack and $100 in the pot. It's a little suicidal, I feel like. But at the same time, I don't think he has a jack here. So I decided to just put the money in. I jam for about 108. He snap calls, which is worrisome. I tell him I have a 9, and he says that we're good for now. 10 comes on the river. I show the ace-9, and we are good. We win a nice sized pot. In this one, we look down at pocket 8s, the snowman. The 1 limper, under the gun 1's going to open. Hijack's going to make the call. Cutoff's going to make the call. I think I have to go for a squeeze. I'm going to have to go rather large here. I go 75, but I think I probably should have gone like 100 with how much people like to call at this table. But we do go 75 for now. And 2 players do fold the blinds, but the under the gun limper is gathering chips, which is an interesting sign. After just limping pre-flop, he's going to cold call a 3-bet from first to act. And he does. He puts in the 75 bucks. So we are at least going heads up to a flop in position. Under the gun 1 also makes the call, as does the hijack. After just calling 10 pre-flop, he double flats. And then the cutoff also calls. We go 5 ways in a 3-bet pot, a large 3-bet that is. So there's about 375 in the middle. Going to a flop on the button in position. This is the one time we want to hit a set, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the board, and it is King 8 deuce in a large 5-way 3-bet pot. We flop middle set, and then it gets even better. The under the gun first to act player jams all in for $462 into 378. This is what dreams are made of at the poker table, folks. And even more unbelievably, under the gun one also makes the call for $462. Cutoff jams for $165. I, of course, am going to re-jam here. About $1,200 effective, which is under the gun one's stack. I cover everyone at the table currently. That's in the hand. So suddenly we have a massive 3 or possibly 4-way all-in pot here. On the guns, we're going to think about it for a little bit, but then he unfortunately does end up folding. So we are back to the 3-way all-in with 1929 in the middle. This is the largest pot I've played in a very long time, and if I win it, it would be the largest pot I've ever won. So we're going to go the turn, really not wanting any more hearts to come out, just hoping for another board pair. Jack of diamonds on the turn doesn't improve too much. And then the 4 of clubs, we fade hearts. Under the gun has ace king for top, and cutoff has king 8 for top 2 pairs. So we scoop this nearly $2,000 pot. After that hand, we look down at ace king offsuit in the hijack. I'm going to open up to 10 bucks. It's one of the rare hands without the straddle on. Lucas in the cutoff, who I came with, is actually going to 3-bet me to $35, which is a pretty small sizing, I think, for this table. Of course, small blind's going to make the call. Cold calling 3 bets, as is the big blind. Obviously, I have to squeeze here. I make it 110, which I really think is a very much mistake. I probably need to go at least 150 there. It's way too small to a $35 raise. But we do put the 4-bet in. Small blind's going to make the fold, as is the cutoff. The only other person in there is the big blind. He is going to make the call, however. So we're going heads up in a 4-bet pot. The round just about 300 in the middle. Unfortunately, the board is absolutely terrible. Not an ace or king in sight, and 3 clubs, and we have no clubs in our hand. So when the big blind bets out 100, there isn't a ton to do except just sigh, fold. And this was the last interesting hand of the night. So all in all, it was a pretty profitable night. We turned 300 into 2648. Not too bad. Played from around 10 o'clock till right until close at 2 o'clock. There's the racks right at the end. And here we are getting our cash.
Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20, 45, and 6. There you go.
Thank you very much.